Ever wonder why everyone you know seems to be on an antidepressant? According to data from the National Institutes of Health, antidepressant prescriptions for midlife women have doubled in the last 20 years. And yet, anxiety and depression rates continue to rise. Something's clearly not adding up. Because if a pill really was the solution for perimenopausal mood swings, irritability, or meltdowns in the middle of Target, why are so many of us still struggling? In today's episode, I'm peeling back the curtain on the 3 hormone imbalances most often mistaken for mood disorders, and what to ask your doctor before saying yes to medication that only masks the real issue. So, grab a quick potty break and your emotional support pumpkin spice latte, and I'll be back to break it all down in less than 90 seconds. Welcome to Are You There Midlife? It's me, Monica. Hi, I'm Monica Topetti, wife, mom, health coach, and hormone imbalance survivor. And I'm on a mission to help women in midlife balance hormones naturally without drugs, doctors, or divorce. Are you tired of dealing with heavy, painful periods that look like a crime scene? Are you sick of struggling with anxiety, fatigue, or brain fog that... What was I just saying? Are you frustrated doing all the things to lose weight but still packing on pounds faster than a real housewife changes Birkins? Girl, you are in the right place. Join me each week as I spill the tea on what to expect in perimenopause and beyond. From IBS to insomnia, bloating to funky body odor, I'll unpack all the weird stuff happening inside our midlife bodies, plus give you the latest science and holistic solutions to manage it all. So ditch the Spanx and hop on board the Hot Mess Express. Let's do this. Hey, beautiful. Welcome back to the show. Okay, so does it ever feel like ever since you turned 40, you're barely able to hold it together? Like 1 minute you're fine, the next you're losing it over an ASPCA commercial or your kiddo forgetting to empty the dishwasher. Well, according to the North American Menopause Society, nearly 60% of women going through perimenopause experience anxiety or depression. Yeah, that was 60%. Yet, most of us are never told it could be a symptom of a hormone imbalance. The truth is, what feels like stress, overwhelm, or that constant rage, cry, apologize cycle on repeat is often less a mental health issue and more a hormonal one. I remember when things first started to unravel for me. I immediately booked an appointment with my doctor because that's what I'd always been told to do to get answers. But because most traditional medicine doctors are trained to treat symptoms rather than ask what's causing them in the first place, I was prescribed a mood stabilizer instead of getting hormone support. And that sent me down a path of chasing symptoms instead of solutions. Today, I'm continuing my fall series, What I Wish I Knew at 40, to uncover the perimenopausal red flags I wish I'd recognized sooner. Before they spiraled into full-blown hormone chaos. Last week, we kicked off this series with episode 96, Perimenopause Symptoms I Ignored at 40 and Why You Shouldn't. If you missed that one, you're definitely going to want to go back and listen. The story about the Mount Vesuvius-sized eruption living on my chin is worth the listen alone. This week, we're diving into the 3 hormone imbalances most often mistaken for mood disorders, what they feel like, why they happen, and what question to ask your doctor so you walk out of your next appointment feeling seen and heard. So get comfy, and let's jump into mood-disrupting hormone imbalance number 1, progesterone deficiency. So, If you've been feeling wired but tired, snapping at your husband or the kids for no reason, or waking up at 2 a.m. unable to fall back asleep, you might be dealing with low progesterone. Progesterone is the hormone that helps us feel calm, centered, and able to drift off at night instead of just lying there replaying every conversation we've ever had. But when our levels start to drop beginning in perimenopause, that sense of calm starts to fade. It's like our nervous system can't quite find neutral. We're functioning, but we're not fine. So why does this happen? Well, we make progesterone in the second half of our cycle, after ovulation. But in our 40s, we start skipping ovulation more often because our body's gearing up for post-reproductive life. Yeah, that's the thing. So that means we're still producing estrogen, but often without enough progesterone to balance it out. At the same time, we're dealing with a lot more stress in this season of life. Kids applying for college, aging parents, careers, relationships. So our body ramps up the cortisol, which is our main stress hormone. The problem is cortisol and progesterone share the same raw materials. What does that mean? Well, when our body is constantly in fight or flight mode, hello cortisol, it's literally stealing from our progesterone supply to make more cortisol. The result? Racing thoughts, anxiety, irritability, and that restless on-edge feeling that makes you want to crawl out of your own skin. And because these symptoms often mirror a general anxiety disorder, most doctors are going to diagnose you with a chemical imbalance rather than looking at your hormones. So, if you go to your doctor and she hands you a prescription for a mood stabilizer, but you suspect something hormonal may be going on, try asking, could what I'm feeling be related to low progesterone or cortisol rather than serotonin? This one question shifts the conversation from being about brain chemistry to body chemistry and opens the door to a discussion about blood work as well as nutrition and lifestyle changes to help restore balance. Now, progesterone deficiency is usually the first domino to fall because of ovulation, but it rarely falls alone because when progesterone drops, the ratio of progesterone to estrogen can also fall out of balance. And that's when emotions can become really volatile. The second mood disrupting hormone imbalance is estrogen dominance. And it can make you feel like everything and everyone is getting on your last nerve. Estrogen dominance occurs when you have too much estrogen compared to progesterone. It doesn't always mean your estrogen is sky high. It just means your ratio is off. And when that balance shifts, your moods can change faster than your middle school daughter changes outfits. Yeah, been there, got the free t-shirt. It's like, who even am I right now? So why exactly does this happen? In perimenopause, our estrogen can spike or dip from one day to the next as ovulation becomes less predictable. And without enough progesterone to balance estrogen, we lose progesterone's calming effect on our brain and nervous system. At the same time, we live in a world filled with hormone-disrupting chemicals. Plastics, fragrances, pesticides, even alcohol can contain something called xenoestrogens. These are synthetic compounds that act like estrogen in our body and confuse our natural hormone rhythm. Over time, this double dose of internal and external stress impacts our liver and our gut's ability to detoxify excess estrogen. And when that happens, say hello to swollen breasts before your period, menstrual migraines, or snapping at your husband for chewing too loud. And here's the really tricky part. Many doctors hear these symptoms and just automatically write a prescription for birth control pills or antidepressants without ever having a deeper dialogue. So what can you do? At your next doctor's appointment, instead of just blindly accepting a prescription and walking away feeling dismissed, ask your doctor if your mood swings could be related to elevated estrogen levels or excess estrogen that isn't getting cleared from your system. This one simple question can shift the conversation from surface level symptoms to finding their root cause, which is exactly what I help women do inside my Master Your Midlife Hormones program. Because while birth control or an SSRI might help balance your mood for a while, if it's really a hormone balance in disguise, that can lead to bigger issues down the road. Left unaddressed, estrogen dominance can actually suppress thyroid function, leading to our third mood-disrupting hormone imbalance. But first, have you been trying to figure out your hormones on your own, but nothing's working? Let's change that. My Master Your Midlife Hormones program was designed to help you get your energy back, sleep through the night, balance your mood, and finally lose stubborn weight naturally. Imagine no more guessing what to eat or cutting out all the foods you love. No more killing yourself at the gym and getting zero results. No more spending hundreds of dollars on supplements that do nothing. This nutrition, lifestyle, and hormone balance program is really like no other. Because in just 9 weeks, Master Your Midlife Hormones is going to help you reset your hormones with a step-by-step, done-for-you plan that is 100% completely tailored to you and your goals. Are you ready to stop Googling your symptoms and finally have a clear path that actually works? Then head on over to bit.ly/fixmyhormones and fill out the Master Your Midlife Hormones application. It only takes a few minutes, and if you're a fit, I'll send you a link to book a quick chat to discuss how the program can help you reach your specific goals. If you're ready for a personalized plan that tells you exactly what to eat, how to exercise, and what supplements actually work for you based on your unique hormone profile, let's get started today and start seeing results before the holidays. Okay, so if progesterone deficiency can feel like anxiety and estrogen dominance can feel like anger or irritability, this third hormone imbalance can feel a lot like depression. That's because an underactive thyroid slows down everything. Our metabolism, our energy, even our brain chemistry, creating that heavy, sluggish, I just don't feel like myself kind of lull. For so many women, low thyroid starts subtly. Maybe you're dragging through the day, or crashing at 3 p.m., or gaining weight even though your diet really hasn't changed. Or maybe your once fast metabolism is now moving at the speed of dial-up internet and your motivation is pretty much MIA. Then the brain fog starts to set in. You forget why you walked into a room. You feel blah, unmotivated, maybe even a little detached, like you're watching life happen but you're not really in it. So what's really going on here? When estrogen dominance lingers over time, it can start to impact thyroid function by raising something called thyroid binding proteins. These are hormones that actually convert inactive T4 into active T3, the thyroid hormones our body uses to turn nutrients into energy. As a result, everything in our body starts to slow down. Our energy, our digestion, our motivation, even, yes, our mood. Because when the thyroid isn't doing its job efficiently, our brain doesn't get the fuel it needs to make feel-good neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. That's why we feel low and emotionally drained, a symptom of underactive thyroid that's often mistaken for depression. Here's what you can do. Instead of going to your doctor and having her run some basic labs and then getting the call that, quote unquote, everything's normal, don't accept your lab results as Bible. Follow up by asking, could my fatigue, brain fog, or low mood be thyroid related, even if my labs look normal? Then ask if she'll run a full thyroid panel, TSH, free T4, free T3, and thyroid antibodies. Why? Because free T3 shows how well your body is converting and using energy, while thyroid antibodies can reveal if your immune system is attacking your thyroid behind the scenes. Until you see those numbers, you're only getting half the story. The bottom line, catching a thyroid imbalance early can prevent months or even years of low mood and fatigue being mistaken for depression. And when your thyroid's running at full power again, your energy, motivation, and metabolism will finally follow, so you can start to feel like you again. So there you go. 3 hormone imbalances most often mistaken for mood disorders and how to get to the bottom of what's really going on. If you found yourself nodding along during this episode, you don't need another prescription. You need a plan that brings your hormones back into balance. Inside Master Your Midlife Hormones, we tackle progesterone deficiency, estrogen dominance, and underactive thyroid naturally through food, movement, exercise, and lifestyle shifts. I'm currently accepting applications for fall, so go to bit.ly/fixmyhormones or click the link in today's show notes before all the spots fill up. Then join me back here next week for the next episode in our fall series, What Your Doctor Isn't Telling You About Midlife Labs, including how to read them. Until next time, wishing you health, happiness, and fewer hot flashes. Hey friend, can I call you friend? Because I already feel like we're friends in my head. Did this podcast teach you something, make you laugh, or feel less like an alien? If so, I would be so incredibly grateful if you could take just 60 seconds to rate, review, and subscribe. That is the #1 way you can thank me and support the show. Until next week, stay cool and keep away from sharp objects.